U.S. has added 14 million new jobs since the Great Recession. A good start. But too many families see the special interests gaining the upper hand in Washington, while paychecks don't go far enough. If you work hard, your paycheck should show it. You earn Social Security. It should be there when you retire. And you shouldn't have to go broke to afford college. I'm Katie McGinty, and I approve this message because it's your turn.
Because qualifications count more than money.
Because my vote is earned, not bought.
Because grassroots power can stop big money.
Because Jamie has always been a progressive.
Because literally, Jamie Raskin wrote the book on campaign finance reform.
And Jamie's the only candidate who's done more than talk.
Because he's the only one who's actually written major progressive laws.
To pass the Green Maryland Act.
To ban military-style assault weapons in Maryland.
Ban the death penalty.
Pass equal pay for women.
Marriage equality for all.
Because no other candidate has that kind of record.
And it's not even close.
Because Jamie Raskin is one of the coolest, smartest, kindest, most passionate candidates I've ever seen.
Because my vote is not for sale.
And we need the kind of progressive that money can't buy.
Because Jamie Raskin represents us.
Where the very rich get rich and everybody else gets more up. It is a broken criminal justice system. Brothers and sisters, this great country should not have more people in jail than any other country on earth. And if anybody thinks the number of people we have in jail, 2.2 million people, is unrelated to the fact that in America today, in terms of youth unemployment, white kids, 17 to 20, high school graduates, 33% unemployed, underemployed. Latino kids, 36%, African American kids, 51% unemployed, underemployed. Here's another radical idea. We're going to invest in our kids in education and jobs. We're going to make sure our kids are working or they're in school. They're not going to end up in jail. I am tired of seeing young people's lives destroyed. We are going to give them an opportunity. I want to say a few words about some of the differences between Secretary Clinton and myself, because they're pretty profound. Number one, you can tell a lot about a candidate in terms of how he or she raises money, raises their campaign funds. Everybody knows, sadly but truthfully, it takes a lot of money, hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars, to run for president of the United States. Well, we have to make a choice. And the choice we have to make is, are we going to do what every other candidate does? Establish a super PAC and go out and beg billionaires and Wall Street and corporate America for campaign funds. Well, we thought about it. We thought about it for 1/10 of 1 second. And we concluded, no, our campaign is not going to have a super PAC. We don't represent the billionaires. We don't want their money, and we're going to do it another way. And the way we did it is unprecedented. We went out to working families and we said, look, if you want real change in this country, if you want a candidate who is going to stand up for the billionaire class and tell them they can't have it all, we need your help. We know you don't have a lot of money. Help us the way you can. And you know what's happened in the last 10 months? We have received over 5 million campaign contributions. in the history of this country, this war. And we know what the average campaign contribution is? $27. Now that is, if I must say so myself, pretty damn good. So to paraphrase Abraham Lincoln at Gettysburg, this is a campaign of the people, by the people, and for the people. Now, Secretary Clinton has chosen another path to raise her campaign funds. She has established several super PACs, and recently her major super PAC reported that they raised $25 million from special interests, $15 million from Wall Street itself. And in addition to that, as many of you know, the Secretary had previously given speeches behind closed doors to major Wall Street companies like Goldman Sachs, where she got paid $225,000 per speech. And she gave a lot of speeches. Now, here's what I think. If you get paid $225,000 for a speech, it must be an extraordinary speech. It must be mind-blowing. It must be Shakespearean. It must be revealing unlocked sources of knowledge. And I think that if the speech is that great, it should be released to the American people. Transcripts if other candidates release that. So I have a dramatic announcement to make right here in Youngstown, Ohio. Are you all ready for this dramatic announcement? I am prepared here and now to release all of my transcripts for the speeches I gave on Wall Street. Here they are! No speeches. I just wonder why, I don't know, why Wall Street hasn't invited me and offered me $225,000 to make a speech. I just don't know why, but I'll tell you this. If tomorrow my friends on Wall Street want to invite me, I don't need their money, but I will go, and this is what I will tell them. I will tell them that their greed and their recklessness and their illegal behavior brought this country into the worst economic downturn since the Great Depression. I will tell them that their illegal behavior cost millions of Americans their jobs, their homes, and their life savings. And I will tell them, you know, many of these banks, Goldman Sachs, and many of the other major ones, Goldman Sachs alone, about a month ago, reached a settlement with the United States government for $5 billion. You know that? $5 billion. You know why they reached that settlement? Because they were selling worthless packages of subprime mortgages. Okay? So they reached a settlement for $5 billion. And this is my message to Wall Street. Some kid or person here in Ohio or my state of Vermont gets picked up today with marijuana. That person will have a police record will have a criminal record for the rest of his or her life. But if you are an executive on Wall Street and your company, your bank, reached an agreement with the federal government for $5 billion, you know what happens to you? You get a raise in your salary. So I will tell the people on Wall Street to watch out, because we are going to bring back justice to the criminal justice. Justice is about, in America, is justice under the law, equal justice under the law. You're poor, you're rich, equal justice for all, including Wall Street executives. And I want to talk about another difference between Secretary Clinton and myself. A profound and important difference that the people of Ohio, the people of Illinois, the people of the entire Midwest knows, as does every American. And that is that our disastrous trade policies, NAFTA, CAFTA, permanent normal trade relations with China, have cost this country millions of decent paying jobs. In Ohio alone, from 1994 through 2015, this state lost 300,000 manufacturing jobs, 31% of its factory jobs. And the key difference between Secretary Clinton and myself is not only that I vote against every one of these disastrous trade agreements, I don't need the opposition.
It's actually pretty cool that so many people call
out So when it came down to whether you stand with corporate America, the people who wrote these agreements, or whether you stand with the working people of this country, I proudly stood with the workers. Secretary Clinton stood with the big money interests. I was on the picket lines in the early 1990s, because I understood what these trade agreements were about. You all understand what these trade agreements are about. They're written by corporate America, and corporate America said, why do I want to pay a worker in Ohio, or in Indiana, or in Illinois, or in Vermont, 20, 25, 30 bucks an hour, when I could shut down in this country, move to Mexico, move to China, pay people pennies an hour, and bring our products back into this country. That is what these trade agreements have always been about. And if elected president, trust me, we are going to change those trade agreements. Since 2001, 15-year period, this country has lost almost 60,000 factories, millions of decent paying jobs. That's tragedy number one, and it has devastated, as all of you know, communities like Youngstown, Akron, communities all over this great state, but all over this country. So we have lost millions of decent paying jobs, but I'll tell you the other half of the story that is often not reported. It's not only massive job loss, it is the race to the bottom. You know what I mean by that? What I mean by that is that the new jobs that are being created in manufacturing today, and we have some new jobs, that's the good news. Bad news is they pay substantially less than these jobs paid 20 or 30 years ago. So workers are coming in, young workers are coming in, working next to older workers, and yet they're earning significantly less. And you know why that's happening? Because what the trade agreements do is allow employers to say to workers, you got a choice. Here is your choice. Either you're going to accept a major reduction in your wages and your health care benefits. If you don't like that, that's fine. We're going to China. Those are not the choices that workers in this country should be forced to make. We tell corporate America, every night you turn on the TV, they want you to buy this car, they want you to buy that product. Well, if they want us to buy their products, the time is long overdue for them to start manufacturing those products here in the United States of America. I'm tired of seeing them creating jobs all over the world while they're laying off American workers. Not acceptable. That is going to end. Look, what thinking outside of the box is understanding where we can go as a nation. You want to talk about jobs? I was in Flint, Michigan a couple of weeks ago. What I saw in Flint, Michigan was literally incomprehensible to me. And after I talked to some parents, I had to go out and give a speech. And it was hard for me to give that speech because I was so shaken. In America in 2016, in Flint, Michigan, children are being poisoned by a broken water system in which people are ingesting lead in their water. In America in 2016. Children are being poisoned, but it's not just
probably had more notice.
Recent report,
had 24 hours notice.
Here, all right. Now, I want you to ask, and when I ask you, if this is thinking outside of the box, how in God's name, in the richest country in the history of the world, that's where we are today. Why are water systems, why is our infrastructure crumbling while the rich get much richer? That is not what America is.
Workers are working like their second job.
We were a poor, struggling country. What we would be honest about and say, look, it's terrible that our water systems, our wastewater plants, our roads, our bridges, our airports, our rail system is crumbling. We're a poor country. We can't do anything about it. We are not a poor country. But what we have is massive income and wealth inequality, and we have our priorities as a nation absolutely backward. This is what, in my view, we should be doing. We should be investing $1 trillion over 5 years to rebuild our crumbling infrastructure. Water systems, roads, bridges. In my state of Vermont, we got roads that are in desperate need of repair. We got bridges that are in need of repair all over America. This is America. Why the hell can't we rebuild our roads and bridges and our water systems? And when we put $1 trillion over 5 years, we create 13 million decent paying jobs rebuilding America. Now people say, well, we need to rebuild our infrastructure, but $1 trillion, that is a lot of money. Where are you going to get the money? I will tell you where we get the money. Right now, you have major corporations making billions of dollars a year in profit, And you know what they do with their profits? They stash their money in the Cayman Islands, Bermuda, and other tax havens. And at the end of a given year, some of these corporations do not pay a nickel in federal income tax. We're going to do away with that loophole. We're going to bring in an additional $100 billion a year. And we're going to use that money to rebuild our crumbling infrastructure. That's what we're going to do. Let me also tell you what we're going to do. And again, it is important to think outside of the box. Don't allow the media to decide what you're allowed to think. Right now, we have a public school system in this country which says that we should have 3 public schools. I went to a public school. My family didn't have any money. That's where we went. It's pretty good schools. Today you have public schools that provide free education from the 1st grade to the 12th grade, right? That's good. But you know what? The world has changed. The economy has changed. People need more education. Now, 50 years ago, if you had a high school degree, you were doing pretty good. You had a high school degree in Burlington, Vermont, Youngstown, Ohio, the odds are you can go out and get a pretty damn good job and make it into the middle class. That is not the case today. Today, in many ways, a college degree is the equivalent of what a high school degree was 50 years ago. So I believe that when we talk about public education today, what we've got to be talking about is making public colleges and universities tuition free. Not only for kids who want to go to college. There are a lot of very bright people who are not academically inclined. They want to become carpenters and plumbers and sheet metal workers. They need the education to do that work as well. And then we have to deal with this outrage of student debt in America. Of this country, education is important. Get as much education as you can, and then they find themselves $30,000, $50,000 in debt, paying off that debt for decades. That's crazy stuff. And that is why we are going to significantly reduce student debt by allowing people who are paying off those loans to get the lowest possible interest rates they can find. Now, people say to me again, they say, Bernie, you're thinking too big. You want to make public colleges and universities tuition free. You want to make sure that kids who don't go to college get the post-high school education they need to be good craftspeople. You want to lower student debt. You know how much that costs? It costs $70 billion a year. And that's true. It's an expensive proposition. But you know how we're going to pay for that? If this Congress could bail out the illegal behavior and the recklessness of Wall Street, I think that it's time to impose a tax on Wall Street speculation. It is time for Wall Street to start helping the middle class of this country. In our country today, we have many Republicans running around this nation talking about family values. And I want everybody here to know what Republican family values are about. What Republicans mean when they talk about family values is that no woman in this room, no woman in this state, no woman in this country should have the right to control her own body. I disagree. Republicans talk about family values. What they are saying is that our gay brothers and sisters should not have the right to be married. I disagree. Now, my wife Jane and I have been married 27 years. We have 4 kids. We believe in family very strongly, but our views on family values are a little bit different than the Republicans, and I'll tell you the key area of difference. I believe that when we talk about family values, we should end the international embarrassment of the United States being the only major country on earth that does not guarantee paid family and medical leave. That means, and I want you again to think out of the box. The wealthiest country in the history of the world, massive levels of income and wealth inequality. And yet today, some woman here in Youngstown or my town of Burlington, Vermont gives birth. And if that woman is a working class woman, the likelihood is that she will be forced to separate herself from her baby in 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, forced to go back to work in order to earn some income to take care of her family. That is unacceptable to the baby, it's unfair to the baby, it's unfair to the mother. We are going to join the rest of the industrialized world, guaranteed 3 months paid family and medical leave. I am a member of the Senate Environmental Committee. And again, let me tell you the truth. And the truth is, climate change is real. No matter how many times our Republican opponents want to deny it, the science is absolutely clear. Climate change is caused by human activity. It is already causing devastating problems. We have a moral responsibility to leave this planet in a way that is healthy and habitable to future generations. That's a moral responsibility. And that is why if elected president, will work with China, Russia, India, countries all over this world to take on the fossil fuel industry, transform our energy system. And when we do that, by the way, we're going to create millions of good-paying jobs in sustainable energy, in solar, and in wind and other. During this campaign, I get criticized a lot. One of the areas I get criticized on is my views on health care. So let me be as clear as I possibly can so my critics get it exactly right. I plead guilty. I do believe that health care is a right of all people. My critics out there, please don't tell me or another, it is okay for every other major country. Go to the United Kingdom, healthcare for all. Go to France, healthcare for all. Germany, healthcare for all. Holland, healthcare for all. Scandinavia, healthcare. 50 miles from where I live in Burlington, Vermont, is Canada, healthcare for all. Now, how can every other major country provide healthcare to all of their people, but somehow we can't? I don't believe that. I believe in a Medicare for all healthcare system. It means that you don't have to stay in a job you don't like because it provides you decent health insurance. It means if you want to start a small business, you can do that and not worry about health insurance. It means if you're a small business person, you don't have to spend half your life worrying about how you're going to provide health insurance to your workers because they are going to have comprehensive coverage. I'll tell you what else it means. It's not just today that we got 29 million people who have no health insurance. It's not just today that many of the people here are underinsured with high deductibles and co-payments. It is also that we are being ripped off big time by the greed of the pharmaceutical industry. I hope everybody here knows that the drug companies can double the price of your medicine tomorrow, that they are charging us by far the highest prices in the world for prescription drugs. You want to hear crazy?